Look, I've been investing for over 30 years, and there's really only 3 levers that actually move real wealth. The first one is lowering your taxes. I beat that to death, but if you're not being tax advantaged in how you approach each deal, you're going to get left out paying a boatload of money that you wouldn't have to if you did things the right way. I'll give you an example. Really good buddy of mine, I've known him for 30 years. He's had a really good career, but he could never think outside the box, and so he continued to put money into non-qualified IRAs, which means you pay taxes now. And at the end of this time, I did a rough calculation. He just sold his business and he did okay, right? I mean, life is not beating this guy up, but over his lifetime, he's paid $1.5 million in taxes. The other thing that he has is he has a big account with a lot of cash in it that he's going to eat that account value over the next 20, maybe 30 years of his life. If he's doing it that way, he's going to face the option of maybe running out of money, and he gave away $1.5 million that he didn't have to. So you always want to look at how can you be tax advantaged in everything you do. The second lever that pulls, and it pulls hard, is appreciation. Look, it doesn't seem like a lot, 3% appreciation, but if you factor that out over 10 years, it's a lot. And when you're looking at your leverage on property, let's take the classic example of $1 million deal, right? You buy the $1 million deal, you put $300,000 down. In 7 years, you're going to likely have doubled that return. With your cash flow and your appreciation, you're going to likely have doubled your money on the whole investment. So what does that mean it's worth? Well, it means your building went from $1 million to $1.30 million to $1.64 million, on and on like that, but you're getting the advantage of multiplying that 3% by the $1 million, not by your $300,000 that you put in. So if you're putting it into a CD and you're getting 3%, you're going to get $3,000 times 3 is $9,000 on your deal, where if you're leveraging that with real estate, you've got a lot more. In fact, you've got over 3 times the money of what you would have if you had a 3% appreciation on your $300,000, because you're multiplying that with leverage. So appreciation in an asset is the second biggest one you can get. And finally, the lever you've got to pull is cash flow. And when people hear cash flow, they always go, oh yeah, that means that the money that's coming in rent and after the loan payment and all the expenses, that comes to me. And that's true. That's how cash flow is generated. But in those numbers, how are you or whoever is managing your assets minimizing those expenses? How are they maximizing your return? A lot of that can be done through refinance, where you're able to lower your interest rate, you're able to pull cash out and do other deals, and a lot of it has to do with the expenses. Are they properly managing the asset? Are they spending money where it's necessary to increase the rents? Are they cutting back on expenses where they can that are not really affecting the bottom line rent number? I mean, there's a time to paint and there's a time to recarpet, but does that mean you need to do it every single year? Well, if you're in a market where you're in a highly competitive market, that may be necessary, but not all the time. And having somebody at the helm that actually knows when that is and what that's really about and when to do it, how to update the clubhouse, how to do the things that are necessary that are going to maximize what you're doing, those are the things that really, really affect the cash flow. So I'm telling you, it's tax benefit, it's appreciation, and it's cash flow through expense management. And I've said most people chase returns, but that's not freedom. And why do people confuse high returns with real wealth? Well, it's because they're chasing freedom in the wrong direction. They're thinking that simply getting the cash on cash return is going to make them wealthy, and it's really not. And really, when they say they want freedom, they're really talking about buying back their time and having access to anything they want at any time of the day, because they don't have commitments that require them to be certain places in exchange for money. That's real wealth. So when people talk about wanting to be rich, they mean they want to be free. And freedom takes discipline, a plan, and usually partners, because partners also bring leverage. Not bank leverage, but time leverage. It allows you to do what you're best at, to be the highest earner that you can, while somebody else takes care of things that they're more likely to succeed at than you. And everyone talks about their financial planner. They plan while you earn. That's the whole thing that the financial planner is selling. He's studying the markets. He's studying all the charts, or he's supposed to, and he's doing that while you're at your job and you're able to earn your money. So you're leveraging his time. Just copy that and apply it to real estate. Most people don't need $10 million. They need $150,000 a year for a life that they want to enjoy. So build something that will get you consistent returns so that you can have that freedom. When someone has $100,000, what's the very first question they should ask before choosing an investment? Well, it's simply this: what is your goal with that $100,000? Are you looking to appreciate it? Do you need it to become 1 million? You need time to do that. But in that, are you looking at cash flow? Because a lot of deals that have really good cash flow have really low appreciation. A lot of deals that don't have the best cash flow have the best appreciation, and you need to analyze that and you need to understand that. They should ask this before doing the investment. Do you need tax savings? Are you able to leverage those to lower your payment and allow you to have more money to invest? And when you can leverage that for another 20 or 30 grand a year just in tax savings, that's a 20% return immediately, and then you have the benefit of the rest of the investment. So be tax conscious on your entry and your exit. If you're done with the noise and you want a real framework for wealth, I've got something for you. It's called $425 million of lessons. What 30 years in real estate taught me about wealth. It's short, it's simple, and it'll save you years of expensive mistakes. So grab your copy at the link below.